Were there 34 tasks sitting for me in Asana that created anxiety for myself when in one day I was able to knock out all of those without having to go through the process of hiring anybody and go through the pain of having to review and do all of these things over and over again. Welcome back to another video. And in this video, I wanted to do something a little bit different. I wanted to comment on just things that are going on in my week this week, something like a vlog style. Just wanted to have a bit of a discussion. One of the things that always surprises me is how much we're able to actually get done, and how sometimes what we think is important actually isn't. So let me address the first thing is I'm putting up a summit at the moment. I have 17 speakers confirmed and recorded. The videos are recorded. They've been edited. And one of the things that it's taken me forever to put the summit together, just in the terms of I'm doing it myself. I have an assistant who's helping out with like a little bit of editing and graphics and that type of thing. But in terms of reaching out to people, to interview them, to book their appointments, to convince them to come to the summit, to send out all the materials, I'm pretty much doing most of it myself. And just getting out of my own way and inviting people over to attend the summit, to justify it, to influence them, to try to sell them on attending and contributing was a challenge. And one of the biggest things, after I managed to get people or start getting people to commit to me, to give them time, to give me the time, was to edit those videos. Because for each person, it's two videos, 30 minutes each, that need to be edited. And being on YouTube, or being maybe somebody who's watching this is a creator, if you're a creator trying to figure out how to do content, I've got 17 hours of content now that needed to be edited. And it's podcast style content, so it's not huge amounts of editing because I'm not taking lots out. It's just fluid discussion based conversation. And so it's basically just trimming and a little bit of graphics or a little bit of things here and there. So the editing component is not huge, but the anxiety that I was having around now having 17 people and 32 or 34 videos edited was causing me anxiety. The summit is next week, and I needed to get all of these videos done, and I procrastinated on getting an editor to actually do the videos or edit the videos. Eventually what I did was I came up with a template. I created a template in Descript and in Canva and in Final Cut Pro. And so between these three sort of pieces, three tools, I set up a workflow for myself where I edited everything in Descript. I got my assistant to log into my Descript account to go through the transcription, to edit out all the gaps and some of the things, just make sure the text was right. Cut off the ends, put the intro from Canva into the video, put the outros in as well, do the call to action, add the logo, like all of those things inside of Descript. Then I took it to Final Cut Pro just for coloring and a little bit of animation and things, lower thirds, that type of thing. And the first video took me about 4 hours to edit, the first two videos. And so what I then did was I created this process, I documented the process, and then told my assistant, well, this is what I'm doing. And so she knew how all these pieces fit together. And then yesterday I basically sat for 12 hours and edited all 17 speakers' videos. Like I said, two were done before, or one speaker was done before, and all 16 I did yesterday. And it just proved to me that using the technology, using the template that I had created, using the workflow I had created for myself, I've got two computers going and a good internet connection to upload and transfer files and do all of these things. I made it easy for myself to actually get those videos done. And when I was done for the day, when all those videos were edited, uploaded to the places they needed to go to, it was a huge relief. And I thought to myself, well, why did this cause anxiety for me? Why was I sitting on this task which looked like 17 times 2 So 32, 34 tasks. Why were there 34 tasks sitting for me in Asana that created anxiety for myself when in one day I was able to knock out all of those without having to go through the process of hiring anybody, and go through the pain of having to review and do all of these things over and over again, because we are our own worst critics. And I think I proved to myself that we have power in the commitment that we can show to ourselves. And I had decided that I was going to get all these videos done this week. I knew it. All the interviews were ready. The process was ready. I worked on that process on Monday already, and so I had this down, but it still created anxiety. And so the thing that we all need to do is to face the anxiety, create the process, and just persist through it. Now, obviously, I worked on a way to make it a bit more, make it easy for myself. And maybe it was a case of me taking 80% of the time to sharpen the saw, or 90% of the time to sharpen the saw. And so that's just an example of how in your life, in your work, in your day to day, what can you do to sharpen the saw? What can you do to make your life easy? And actually, one of my friends in one of my groups asked me, or asked us all, the question in a group call, what would feel easy? Right? And it's also one of the questions that Tim Ferriss also has, that he published as well, is what would make it easy? How could you make this easier for yourself? What would the process be? And so I'm leaving this with you on this video is, how could you surprise yourself? Or how could you make something easy for yourself so that you are surprised? Right? What would your life look like if it was easier? How can you simplify what you're doing so that it is actually simple and easy? I think we have this misconception that things are harder than they seem. And in actual fact, it doesn't need to be that way. We don't need to think of things in terms of difficulty levels. We've been trained, we've been taught that more difficult means more rewarding, like getting a fancy degree and doing more complicated stuff and becoming a surgeon. And maybe, sure, there's a place for all of that. Like, highly skilled people are needed in the world. But in your life, if you're trying to make something simple for yourself, for your process, for your day-to-day, so that you can sleep better, so that you can eat better, so that you can earn money easier, I'm all for trying to figure out those things. And it's not necessarily about being more productive. It's about being more effective and more efficient with the tools and resources that we have. And I think that's what this channel is becoming more and more about. And so if you've gotten to the end of this video, if you've gotten to the end of this rant, if you've gotten to the end of this conversation, comment below. Let me know, how are you making your life easy? How are you planning to make your life easy? And if you like the video, hit the like button as always. If you want to subscribe for more content, if you want to have more conversation with me, if you want to check out more of my content, obviously go through the channel as well. I appreciate you, and thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting. Take care.